So, Jason just got in his Monster Hunter All-In pledge, if you didn't notice by the giant picture. And we have the first two core boxes. Apparently this is product code 1, so I guess that's the first box we're going to go look at. So, this game is ridiculously heavy. In fact, this is like, yeah. And from what I understand, this kind of looks like what they're doing now with Dark Souls, where they released 2 core boxes. So, kind of weird, but let's see what you get in the first box. So on the back here, I mean, there's a decent amount of components, and it got some kitty cat stuff. I don't know much about Monster Hunter since I've never actually played the video game, but I've watched some of the playthroughs, and it looks like an updated, cleaner version of the Dark Souls board game. So I'm hoping Steamforge has learned something. But yeah, this is kind of chunky. But let's see what we get. No internal art. Sad. An insert that doesn't say you die. Okay. There. That's neat. We have a little organization tray. Ooh. The detail on this. This is some really, really nice detail. I'm actually surprised. It feels good. So Steamforge has definitely improved their molding and their material. Oh, that's neat too. So we have tabs here that actually hold the framing. So that's actually really cool. Steamforge is definitely up their game. Now you look about right. Or not. Yeah. Is this right size? Yeah, it should be the right size. Yeah, there we go. Oh, much better. So this is a huge improvement over the Gaping Dragon miniature from Dark Souls. It still has some flaws and minor cast lines, it looks like, but look at the detail on that. They have improved their game a lot with their manufacturing. Yeah, that is a really beautiful mini, and of course it's pretty hefty. So we got this dragon thingy. We have a furry dinosaur, so I guess an actual dinosaur. With his little T-Rex arms. Oh, he's neat, adorable. It's a furry T-Rex. We have something that looks like a weird Pagalian. Or Pangolin. That's actually pretty cool too. It has that membrane. Wow. That is really nice. And then we have some type of iguana. Definitely looks like an iguana. Alright. So 4 minis in the core box. We have our punch boards. They look like a standard thickness with our actual game board. So we have our game board and 3 punch boards. Okay. Very nice feeling rules book. And of course, they always do a good job with selecting art. That's one good thing about Steamforge manuals. Yeah, this really does look like Dark Souls. But definitely gonna have to try this out. But from what I understand, it's basically a choose your adventure and your boss. So, probably a lot better than all the grinding. Or maybe not, because I heard Monster Hunter is all about grinding. Huh. Ancient Forge Quest Book. Ooh, that's kind of neat.
I wonder if I did that or if Shipping did that on the back.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. Okay, there's a bunch of tables and stuff in here. This could be really neat.
Yeah, that's the choose your own adventure book. And then there's arena mode if you want to just go in and fight something. It'll tell you what gear and stuff to use. Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. So our market board, it looks like. It has Lin finish on it. Oh boo! We have a little quest log sheet thing.
Oh, that's not a market board. That's your stamina board.
They don't give you a lot of sheets. Crown. Drawn by a kindergartner. Oh, that's pretty neat. There's a bunch of gear stuff. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. So they actually add color to these guys. They're not just gray or black. That's a pretty good detail. That feels pretty good too. I don't know who any of these characters are. I'm sorry. I've never played Monster Hunter. I did watch that terrible, terrible movie with Mila Jovovich in it, though. If that helps.
I forgot they made a movie.
Well, I know now Monster Hunter also has ridiculous weapons. Like this guy. This guy looks like that one guy from Final Fantasy X. Auron. Plugs for dials. Crappy D6s. Linen finish on cards. Look like standard plain cards. So the organizer looks pretty legit. I don't know if it's going to fit everything sleeved, but it looks pretty good. Did they do anything cool and hide minis and stuff under here? Nope. Nothing cool. But yeah, this is a core box. And it looks actually pretty neat. I will have to admit, I'm very interested in seeing how this goes. I've never played Monster Hunter. All I know is it's a grindy thing where you kill giant monsters to get gear to kill more giant monsters. So, I guess it's Diablo. Except not. But that is the first box, the Ancient Forest. And I gotta say, these guys are really cool. I am surprised there's only 4 enemies. But I have to read and look through the manual and see how this game actually works. So, that's the first box. This is Monster Hunter World, the board game, The Wild Waste. This is the second core box. Interesting side note, if you didn't see my other videos, this product number is 002. It is a core box, but this core box, the characters actually have advanced features. They play differently than the 001, which is the Ancient Forest guys. They actually have different trigger abilities and stuff that require a little bit more knowledge on gameplay. So I thought it was really weird that they didn't mention that anywhere on the box. But yeah. But it is pretty much the same stuff. Except different characters and different boss monsters. So we have our insert that tells you how to organize. That, if you watch my other video, pretty much tells you that this is a lie if you sleeve your games. But it's also a lie for the tokens flat out. Tokens just don't fit. There's too many of them. But they still do have the clever and improved packaging with the tab holding the wing accessories. And this guy is just really, really cool. I never played the video game, but this guy looks awesome. Like, they've done an incredible job with the details. And their molding process has gotten a lot better. So they have definitely put a lot into improving their product. But the detail on this guy is amazing, that they went and put every little individual scale. So Steamforge, always known for making awesome minis, but this time the plastic is a lot better, so they don't have as many defects. Just check out all the scale detail right there. It's like he has a teeth for a face. There's some definitely Del Toro nonsense right there. And some type of flying gecko lizard. It's literally what that gecko Pokemon would be if it actually looked terrifying. Fish! Fishy fish fish. It's like a messed up gar with legs. We have our stamina boards, 4 each. We have our rulebook and our quest book. These terrible spinning tab thingies. Again, they only gave you 10 sheets for your character recording. And this also comes with extras, as you can see. This actually has the characters that go to the first set. But as I've said before, they play with a different monster deck system, and if you don't have those monsters, you can't actually do the other set. So I don't know why they gave you these cards. We have our happy preschool color-coded monster side boards, which is, I don't know, there's something about this I really like, even though it looks really hokey. So I already removed all the plastic from most of this stuff just because you guys don't like me hear it crinkling. They give you your attack with the elements deck and the number deck. So there's literally like 300 cards in this. It's pretty ridiculous that this is the majority of the game. But there's roughly 600 cards. Your Palicos, and I'm believing your Palicos and your Timing deck are the same, so I might open that up to compare. But when I say they added a advanced mechanic to the character classes, where is it? Like this deviation card. This is a new mechanic that's specific to whatever the gun thing is here. Oh, and these guys also have the elemental attacks added onto their attacks with their improved gear. So, like, whatever this symbol is, it's a new mechanic. So, I believe the starting gear is all the same, too. As you can see, everything actually fits if you don't sleeve it. And, I don't know, as expensive as board games are getting, you kind of have to sleeve your stuff. Yeah, all the alloy gear, the bone gear, yep. Then the special scenario-based gear. Alright, so besides the special stuff, everything else that's default gear is the same. I do like how this guy literally looks like he's holding a demon axe from Dark Souls, but I know it's not that because it has a blade on the back. But he is pretty cool looking. I'm pretty sure that's some bone armor of some sort. Pretty sure that that axe and this guy are kind of related in gear parts. Then we got this awesome looking Warhammer or Warcraft Knight, who looks like he has a rocket glove of some sort. And we have this shield anime standard guy with probably a 2-foot thick shield if you look at that. Jeez, that's ridiculous. But I mean, you have to be like ridiculously strong to wield any of these weapons, because this is definitely in the realm of nonsense. Now, I do wish that they included bowstrings, but I get that. It's too fragile. This plastic's a little bit different. It's softer than the gray plastic. Not sure why they went with the softer plastic, but maybe detailing was easier. Or it's just because they didn't have to, because these are so much smaller than the Monster Minis. When you compare it to something like this, it's just insane. They probably needed a stronger plastic. If you push this all the way, it should snap in and be more tight looking. Like I said, it is a huge improvement over materials from the original Dark Souls plastic they used when the game was first kickstarted, and even to the last, when they did the revised expansion for the starter format like this. Alright, welcome back. So, this is the Ancient Forest, and we sleeved everything. So, as typical manner of Steamforge, which I thought was kind of weird, there's always some weird stuff going on. So, not everything goes back perfectly, and that's kind of typical of Steamforge and most games because they just don't care about people who sleeve their cards. At least the minis, this time only being 4 and really light on it, Steamforge could have done some better jobs with the spacing. So that being said, sleeving the cards, they just don't fit laying face down. In fact, the token tray here doesn't fit tokens at all, which I thought was kind of interesting, because that's the way the layout shows it. So all the tokens don't fit where they're supposed to go. Surprised? Not really, it's Steamforge. So that's mildly disappointing. So some of the train tokens, they'd be here, they just don't fit. And then, these are Euro cards. Kind of. I am not exactly sure. I've had this issue many times with Steamforge games, and also Awakened Realms. This is a Euro-sized card, but it doesn't really fit Euro-sized sleeves very well. And I'm not sure what this card size really is. I know when I buy sleeves specifically on a release for Awakened Realms, this fits correctly. So, odd. This health counter stand, it's pressed in, and it's just rattly loose. Not great. But again, pretty much how Steamforge does stuff. And this insert just, I don't know, just doesn't work. So the game cannot be repacked if you're a person that likes to sleever games like we do over here at GG. That being said, we have played the game, and the game's not bad. The game borrows a lot of the old Dark Souls mechanics and tries to fix and clean them a little bit, but most of the game is a choose-your-adventure book. It is literally just reading a quest guide, going down to whatever it tells you your choices are for the bosses, and then when you run out of time, or not run out of time, but at a certain point you either run out of time and fail the mission, or you fight the boss and run out of time. It does fix some of the issues with Dark Souls, but it still has the main problem with the Dark Souls board game, which is you have really no choice on getting components you need to actually build your items to improve your character. So every character gets one of these, and one of the weird things is they actually included the character cards for the other core set, which we thought was like, oh, that's really nice. You can still... No, you can't, because the gear and items you get specifically are still tied to the other core sets. I don't know why they doubled up on the character cards. Really weird choice. But you honestly do not have a choice on getting the gear you need. It's just random. You run around, I mean, there's loot tables, and if you pull it off, you can get it, but still not really that helpful. So, the way I was explaining how Monster Hunter works, and they encapsulated the core of the gameplay, is this is nothing but a grinding game. Except they've cut out basically 90% of the grinding, and you just wander around in the story, and you just make choices, and you pick, if you do this, get this item. Which I was like, okay, well, that's cool, so it's just a boss battler, really, that's all you're doing. And the combat, I have to say, and the mechanics of the game, I actually like them. They're a cleaned up version of Dark Souls. I like Dark Souls combat. I think Dark Souls is actually good, except for when it comes to, hey, you need certain gear or loot or something. At least in Monster Hunter, you have a choice. Dark Souls is more like, well, you just, hey, look, this is a pyromancer skill. There's no pyromancers in the party. No one can use this. This is trash. Thanks, game. I love having stuff I can't use. And you're always going to hear the people support, well, that's how Dark Souls is supposed to be. It's like, no, it's not, because you can actually pick if you want that crap. So, I have to give Monster Hunter props on that, but still getting the resources is hard. And the campaign is just grindy. If you like fighting the same thing over and over and over and over. So, that's a negative. But the combat's really good, and I like the way the game plays out. And I do like the choose your own adventure. But as far as the constant grinding because you need to get certain parts and fighting the same boss over and over again, not so much. I can see this actually getting very tedious and boring if you run this campaign, because after fighting and killing the fourth monster for the just 18th time, it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. That being said, I'm guessing that's what all the expansions are for. And it is kind of neat. I don't hate it, but it is definitely still in the average realm. I do have to say the components are extremely well done, though. And when I say components, I mean the minis. The cards feel good, but stuff like making this, I don't know why this is so loose. You should not have a health dial this loose that you have to stand up vertically that can move. It's just, I don't know. Not great. Tokens are pretty easy to read. The symbology, I do love the kindergartner art. I don't know why I like the kindergartner art here. I thought it'd be color-coded and have meaning, but it's really not. So, I should be surprised, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense with the color coding on the parts. So, I don't know. But I do like it, but it's still in the average territory. I gotta play around more. So, a really interesting thing, too, is, like I said, the Ancient Force product number is 001 for Monster Hunter. And the other box is 002. The 002 box actually has more difficult characters, more with advanced features. So the 001 box actually just comes with basic functioning characters. And I'm not disappointed by that, but I think they could have made it a split 50 if they were going to have to choose one or the other. But really, the way Steamforge's model is, you're going to buy both. It's kind of how it goes. So with that, that is my first impressions and unboxing of Monster Hunter: The Ancient Forest. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel. If you got any comments or you got any ideas on how I can make this game less grindy, please let me know down in the comments. Other than that, take care